and design. This was a no-brainer in the previous comparison we did between the Mi Mix 2 and the OnePlus 5. But now that OnePlus have jumped on the bezel-less bandwagon with the 5T, things might be a little different. The 5T sports a 6.01-inch Optic AMOLED display with a screen-to-body ratio of approximately 80%. The Mi Mix 2 also sports an almost similarly sized 5.99-inch display and again an almost similar screen-to-body ratio of roughly 80.8%, but with an IPS LCD panel. The aspect ratio of both displays is 18:9 and the resolution is Full HD+. So both are equally sharp, they get bright enough to be outdoor friendly and do provide excellent viewing angles. But the 5T offers much deeper blacks, meaning a higher contrast. It also comes with different calibration options like DCI-P3, sRGB, adaptive and default to choose between better color accuracy and more punchy colors. While the Mi Mix 2's display is calibrated to DCI-P3. Okay wait, we kinda deviated from build and design. Apologies, that's how much these bezel-less displays excite me. Anyway, let's now flip them around and take a look at the back. The Mix 2's design is absolutely stunning, thanks to the gold accent and of course the beautiful ceramic. The mid-frame is made of aluminum and the display is covered by 2.5D Gorilla Glass 4. The OnePlus 5T doesn't have a groundbreaking design. In fact, the design of the 5T feels inspired. When it comes to the build though, the 5T reigns supreme. It's made of anodized aluminum, thanks to which it feels light in hand. It weighs just 162 grams, lighter than the Mi Mix 2 by 33 grams. While the Mix 2's ceramic back is almost scratch-proof, it is a lot more slippery in hand. So, while the Mi Mix 2 fares better in the design aspect of things, the OnePlus 5T, despite being taller, feels more ergonomic, and also slimmer and lighter. But as always, beauty lies in the eye of the beholder, and given that both phones don't have any major issues, there's no clear winner here. Depending on what you want, it might differ. A better design with an almost non-scratchable back, or a more ergonomic, lighter build? Here's a poll, let me know. Now for the basic stuff, the 5T has support for Bluetooth aptX HD, while the Mix 2 has a barometer. Apart from that, everything else is pretty much the same. Both phones have all the basic sensors and radio in place, and they all work quite well. Had no issues with cellular reception and call quality. There's support for GeoVolte on both. The audio quality via the 3.5mm headphone... Oh wait, there's no headphone jack on the Mix 2. Deal breaker or not, you tell me. The fingerprint scanners are accurate, they hardly ever go wrong. That said, the one on the OnePlus 5T is noticeably faster at unlocking. It's definitely among the fastest scanners of all time. Now, with the 5T, OnePlus have also introduced Face Unlock. It's just as fast. It may not be as secure or accurate, but wait, we did a dedicated video exploring the new Face Unlock feature of the 5T. Here's a card to it, check it out. So given the headphone jack and Face Unlock, the 5T scores a point here. Moving on, both phones pack some serious power underneath the hood. The Snapdragon 835 chip makes sure these phones handle anything thrown at them, be it web browsing, image processing, gaming, or even video rendering. I for one feel the OnePlus 5T is a tad faster. Yes, we haven't done a speed test comparison between both, but we did one between the Mix 2 and the OnePlus 5. I'm pretty sure the results are going to be the same here, because in our time with the 5T, we found it to be as fast and snappy as the OnePlus 5. Don't get me wrong, the Mix 2 is blazing fast too. You really aren't gonna notice that difference unless you use them side by side. That little difference in performance could be attributed to OxygenOS, that's much lighter and more stock than MIUI 9 that runs on the Mi Mix 2. Both skins are based on Android 7 Nougat, but the 5T is expected to get Oreo soon. MIUI 9 is feature-rich. For example, you can do things like, okay, you know what, we have an entire video of MIUI 9 features, here's a card to it. We have one for the 5T as well, 10 to 15 tips, tricks and hidden features. Card. Here's the short version. MIUI 9 comes with a lot of first-party apps, has more features and arguably the best home screen customization on any phone. OxygenOS on the other hand is close to stock, but does have a number of useful features like the alert slider. Yes, I know it's a physical slider, but you can customize the actions here. All that said, there's again no clear winner with regards to software experience. It largely depends on your preference. Do you want more features or a more stock experience? Here's another poll, let me know. Both offer excellent user experience. They run on UFS 2.1 storage, that's blazing fast. Speaking of storage, the Mi Mix 2 in India comes in only one variant with 6 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of onboard storage, while the OnePlus 5T comes in two variants, 664 and 828. Honestly, 6 gigs is plenty. In our speed test involving the Mi Mix 2, it managed to keep everything open in the background. So 8 gigs is just overkill, as of today at least. Now moving on to something I'm sure you guys have been waiting for since the beginning, the camera shootout. While the Mi Mix 2 doesn't have a great camera on paper, it did manage to outperform the OnePlus 5 under low light. But OnePlus have now swapped the telephoto camera with a new 20 megapixel f1.7 unit that's as wide as the primary camera, meaning it loses lossless or optical zoom, but this secondary camera is dedicated to low light photography. So now, is it payback time? Looks like it is. The differences are quite evident. The images shot with the 5T are noticeably brighter and sharper. This plant is not even visible on the image shot with the Mix 2. In pitch dark scenes like this, the 5T obviously fares better. The Mix 2 gets the colors right for the most part compared to the 5T, but also tends to mess them up with the green tint at times. Outdoors under good lighting conditions, both phones managed to get some super sharp pictures. Here, the image shot with the 5T has better dynamic range. The high-rise looks brighter, and there's more detail in the sunset behind. The 5T also gets the colors right more often than the Mix 2 does. The bark of the tree looks natural on the image shot with the 5T. The background blur is also stronger since the aperture is f1.7 compared to Mix 2's f2.0. That said, when HDR is triggered on the 5T, it gets a bit too aggressive, and as a result, the images have boosted contrast. Look at those trees. The 5 megapixel front camera on the Mi Mix 2 shoots selfies that are as sharp as those shot with the 16 megapixel front shooter on the OnePlus 5T. The Mix 2 nails the skin tones, but the selfies shot with the 5T have better dynamic range. The high-rise behind me is blown out on the selfie shot with the Mix 2. 5T's selfies also have a wider field of view, meaning more often than not, group selfies won't require a selfie stick. There's also a bit of bokeh. The Mi Mix 2 has 4-axis OIS, while the OnePlus 5T has EIS, hence the huge crop. Both phones can shoot 4K at 30 frames per second. The clip shot with the Mi Mix 2 looks sharper. The 5T gets the colors right though. The dynamic range is quite good on both clips. The aggressive stabilization on the 5T leads to a jelly effect like this whenever there's fast movement. Looks like that building's dancing. Thanks to the secondary shooter, the 5T can also click portrait mode pictures like these, where the subject stays on focus and the background is blurred out. This is something people have become fond of late, and the Mix 2 skipping it might turn out to be a deal breaker for some. So when it comes to the camera, the OnePlus 5T comes out ahead. Now, how do the batteries on these guys hold up? The OnePlus 5T has a 3300 mAh battery fueling it, while the Mix 2 sports a slightly larger 3400 mAh battery. Ash used these phones for about a week each and found Mix 2's battery life to be about 10 to 15% better. With light usage, the Mix 2 had almost 50% charge at the end of the day. That's a job well done by Xiaomi. But then the 5T has support for dash charge, which charges the phone back up to 100% real quick. The Mix 2 charges back fast too thanks to Quick Charge 3.0, but just not as fast as the OnePlus 5T. So, marginally faster charging or slightly better battery life? Well, I'd go with the longer battery life. Your choice might vary. Let us know via this poll here. Okay, I think we are out of cards, so let me know in the comments below. With that, we get to the price. The Mi Mix 2 bears a price tag of 35,999 rupees. That's 3,000 rupees more than that of the 664 variant of the OnePlus 5T and 2,000 rupees less than that of the 8128 variant. Considering you're good with 64 gigs of storage, the OnePlus 5T definitely offers more value for your money. You get a better build, superior camera performance, inky AMOLED goodness, a close-to-stock experience, and the latest craze, the portrait mode. Even if you want 128 gigs of storage, for the same reasons I would still recommend you get the 8128 variant of the 5T, despite it being priced 2000 more than the Mi Mix 2. But if you love MIUI and the excellent design of the Mix 2, and want a flagship with the assurance that a new one from the brand's not gonna come out in the next few months, then get the Mix 2. So what's it that you prefer? I'd love to know what you think. Leave a comment down below. While you're there, hit thumbs up and subscribe to C4E Tech for more like this. Do this to make sure you get notified each time a video goes live on the channel. Thanks a lot for watching. This here is Sundar, leaving for the moment. Have a great day.